I've mentioned that God is able to use our pain and suffering um, in previous videos, and I just want to mention that again and a couple other quick things on this short video. Listen to this. I would rather have and live in a world where both evil and God exist than a world where evil exists and is ignored or denied, or renamed, or called something else, and where God exists, but he is ignored and denied and explained away as irrational or as a crutch. Let me say that again. I would rather live in a world where good or God and evil both exist than a world that God and evil exist, but both are ignored and explained away and renamed. And the hope of finding meaning and purpose and in pain and suffering is then lost. You take God. I've said this. Take God out of the equation, and hope and purpose is lost because that's our alternative. So God has a purpose. Romans 8:28. It can make all things work together for the good, for those who are called to His purpose. So God has a purpose. He's able to use our pain and our suffering. As an example, he suffered for us. The night before, he told the disciples, and then gave an example. And he's able to. This is your salvation. He's able to redeem your suffering through his, something the other world religions doesn't offer. So he's able to draw you closer to God. This is depending, really on you. If you want to be drawn close to God, because I've seen people who don't. They used to go to church. They used to love God. Used to talk about God. Now they don't. So it really depends on you. And your attitude. Lord, be merciful to me, a sinner. I know you're a good God. I know I don't understand this. I don't like this. Is there the possibility that you can bring about good out of this? And the answer is yes. So it really depends on what kind of follower of Jesus you want to be and what you're going to settle for. So he's able to make more out of your suffering and draw you closer to Christ, make you more like Christ, equip you to help others in the future. You're able to see, listen, you're able to taste something of what Jesus suffered. You are able to taste a degree of what Jesus suffered and then ultimately bring about your own healing. Maybe not completely. We talked about that in the last videos, that it might not be complete. There might not be it might still be some loose ends, some emotional stuff all the way up until the day you die. But you got God with you and for you and able. And so ultimately you bring about your own healing because you kept following. You kept following even in your pain. So someone else did whatever that thing is that was done to you, and they chose evil because of the free will of men. And no, God didn't stop it, but God is with you. And God is able to use your pain and bring about purpose and hope. In the midst of your pain, he's with you in the midst of it while you're processing what has happened. So here's the hope. Not the maybe so. Not when I use the word hope, I don't mean like I hope so. No, it's hope that is like joy that is deep down inside because we have an informed faith, or we're not groping in the darkness, hoping to stumble across upon something that is helpful. But here's what Jesus offers, and here's what we know. That the Bible says God can use your pain and your suffering to make you more like Christ, draw you closer to God if you want to equip you to help others if you want to. to taste something of what Jesus suffered, and ultimately bring about your own healing and your spiritual maturity. I hope that's encouraging to you. We got just a little bit more to cover, and I hope you're encouraged.